why you must become the person that operates at the frequency of the things you desire, and why forcing never gets you where you want to be. It makes me think of basketball. It makes me think how I would force things. How I operated out of this frequency, this identity that didn't match the player I was trying to be, and that's what I brought into my game. That instead of focusing on the energy I brought forward within myself, I would play small until I realized I was playing small, and then I would try to force my hand. And I feel this with the course I'm creating right now is the more I try to force, the more pressure I put on creating it, the further I push it away. The further these insights from God come, I just push because I'm trying so hard. And it's something I talk about all the time. It's that flow state, it's that presence, it's that. In moments of my life where I have these big breakthroughs and God shines through me is when I put myself in that state to receive that. When I match the frequency I want to receive these things at. And this is the number one thing for you if you're trying to create a certain lifestyle, a certain career, financial income, a relationship, perform a certain way within a sport. This is what you need to be focusing on, is how you show up within yourself. It's not, for my course, it's not that I can just force my hand and create all of these ideas and force these ideas to come out. But when all of these ideas come out is when I'm at my best, is when my frequency is up here, and then those things naturally flow into my presence, into my consciousness, into my recognition of what's happening, what's going on, into my mind, into my body. And you feel it. That's why I said all those different things, is because it's a feeling that comes within you. And you're so focused on the outcome of all of these things that you lose sight of what you need to be focusing on. It's just like you set this massive goal and then you try to skip past all of the action tasks you need to take action on to make that goal happen. It's like I set the goal of I need to make 1,000 shots today, and then I try skipping past taking 2,000 shots or 1,000 shots. Like you actually skip it. You miss like the most important part. And that's what I challenge you to focus on, is just paying attention to your body, paying attention to how you feel, and you're good. And just staying in tune with that in your day-to-day life. And the more in tune you are with that in your day-to-day life, the easier it will be to freely create these things. Anytime I have these blocks now in my course creation, like right now, today was that day. I went through a little ceremony, and then I'm about to cold plunge, instantly reset my state. Then I'm going to dinner at my grandparents. I'm just putting myself into that flow state, into that free state. And something I've been really thinking about within myself is I take all of this way too serious. We lost the playfulness, at least I have. I've lost the playfulness in life, where I can just go have fun, where not everything I do is about work. Not everything I do is building towards this set goal, where I can just actually allow myself to exist as I am. We need to play more. You know, that's when I found I have great insights. And this sounds crazy, but you know the amount of great insights I've gathered after a night out? I really don't go out that much anymore, but I've gained a lot of insights within myself and within my life that re-centered me after going out and having a fun night at the bar or out with some friends. And part of me is realizing this now as I say it out loud. I need to get back to those moments, because in those moments where I stop putting the pressure on the need to obtain these goals or create certain things within my career and the service I'm trying to operate out of, put so much pressure on it. And when I actually step back and I step away from it, I can create these things freely. So this is just your reminder to play a little more, to check in with how you feel and fine-tune your frequency throughout the day. It's not a I'm gonna do it today and then the rest of the week I'm just gonna chill out on it. I understand how you can get extremely caught up in day-to-day life. I understand. I'm very extreme within myself that when I'm away and I dive fully in, like about a week ago, I dove fully in. I was out at the cabin in nature by myself for a week, 5 days. And I felt all those amazing habits. I felt all those putting myself through those amazing routines. And then you slowly slip back into it here when I get back into my normal day-to-day life in society. So that's why you need to be aware throughout your day. The more aware you are of that and these little things, these little habits, these little actions, you can catch yourself. The scrolling is huge. Social media is huge. You consume so much. I don't think you realize how much information you consume in a day. Arguably the greatest part of me being gone for 5 days is I stopped consuming. And from that, I created at such a higher level. I had space to create. When I wasn't always chasing that dopamine spike and consuming, cleaning the dishes was fun. Making food felt like I was in culinary school and I was just chefing it up like I was a true chef. I was making that food with love and I was playing with life. Get back to playing a little more. I host these events and the final portion of the event is pretty much an hour of play where a bunch of adults get together and we just play. We usually compete in like a slip and slide, there's water balloon fights, there's different sports, there's different dances, creative acts you need to work with in your team, and we just play. And that is so powerful. It sounds so stupid, but every time I see it and every time I get to be a part of it at those events, it reminds me how serious we take this and how much more we all need to play, especially the older we get. And this is coming from someone who's rushed through his life to this point where he's trying to grow up so fast, trying to be so mature, that I've almost lose sight of the playfulness of life because I feel like I've needed to show up a certain way throughout my life. Don't lose that touch, that creative touch that a kid uses. You know, I think of my little brothers and how sometimes they just talk. They just talk and they just say these random things. They just come up with these random ideas and they just create. Whatever comes up, they just create, they just say it out loud, they just have fun with it. You need to get back to that. You need to get back to thinking for yourself, thinking freely, to having an idea and then going and just messing around with it and seeing what happens. Instead of everything having to be perfect, everything have to be strategically placed throughout the rest of your life, and you're just closing the door for God to send these random moments, these random interactions, these random unlocks into your life because you're in your mind so much that you can't even receive them, you can't even allow yourself to go experience them fully. I hope this unlocks a little creativity in you. I hope this is a good reminder in a time where you might be stuck a little bit on your creative process to go play and watch and be aware of what's going on. You know, I love getting out and watching people. I always learn so much when I get out. Like when I talked about the bar, I love just going out to the bar and just watching people. And from there, on the way home, I always record like me like talking to the camera for myself. I always sit down before I drive and write a bunch of notes of just a bunch of random ideas and things that came to the surface. So get out into the world a little more. Go connect with some random people. Go talk to some strangers. Get out of your normal routine. Last week when I went and I broke my normal routine, I was gone for about 2 weeks because I spent some time up in the cities as well, and just getting out of that normal routine was huge for me. Getting around different people, getting around different environments, getting out of a different daily routine and switching things up allowed new ideas to flow freely. So if you're feeling stuck, you have a few different things you can do. You can switch your environment, you can go meet some new people, you can switch up your routine. I mean, you can go flow, you can move your body, you can go play like a kid again, play around with all of these things. And I bet if you put all of them together, if you go meet some new people outside and you go play with them, you go play a sport, you go do something, you go laugh, you go have a conversation that you normally don't have, watch what happens. Apply that to your life. Let me know how it feels. Let me know how your creative process is going. It's always fun to connect with people who are diving into their creativity. So let me know how it goes. Talk soon.